It's taking its time. And we're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Manny's Experience podcast. And today, my special guest, a good friend of mine, his name is Coach Eli. And we're going to start. If you guys have any questions over on the live chat, let me know. And so Eli, Coach Eli, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your story, where you started. Like, I guess just give us a scenery in a way, like where you started, what made you want to get into life coaching, and then we're gonna keep going forward and moving that way.
All right, before we get started, Manny, just letting you know, I just checked your page where this is live at. It says chat is disabled for this live stream, so you may want to go into your settings, into your creator studio, okay, and then go in and enable live chat, or else people are going to be very disappointed and they're going to leave the stream. So no worries, I can keep your audience entertained happily while you do that. You know how to do that, Manny?
I'm doing that right now. I mean, I opened another window. You said Creator Studio?
Yeah. Go into your Creator Studio.
And then go under live streaming?
Go into live streaming, and then I believe you go into events. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I haven't done a live stream in a while, but it's still the same thing, I believe. Then you go into events, and then you should see the event right there that's happening right now.
Where it says edit or basic info?
Yeah, it says edit.
Yep.
Yeah, click on the edit, and then it should open up a section where it says like advanced settings on the top.
Oh, and enable live chat.
Enable live chat. Then make sure you click on, I believe save is an option there. You save that.
Yep, I see.
And then I'll go ahead and refresh the page here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See, I'm still learning.
No problem. Hey, man, your live chat is enabled, buddy. There we go.
All right. So hopefully we'll you let me know. I mean, you probably have multiple screens too. You can see if people are conversating. All right, man. So go ahead. So I'll introduce you again. This is Coach Eli, a friend of mine. I've been knowing you for almost a good year now, and I discovered you obviously through YouTube, and that's been I try to be a loyal subscriber with you, and been on a lot of your live streams and everything. So tell me your story, man. Tell me who you are, and like I said, your passions. We can even talk about motivations. What drives you to wanting to be a life coach? So go ahead, man.
Hey, first of all, let me pay out a shout out to Gemma's Journey Grace. Is that you, Gemma Grace, out there? Did you change your channel name again?
That might be her.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go check this out real quick, Manny, and I'll answer your question. We're gonna have some fun here today, aren't we, Manny? And I'll share my story. I promise you.
Yeah, definitely we will. I'm always.
It is the real. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the real Gemma Grace, man. 1,826 subscribers. Wow, congratulations, Gemma, and thank you so much for being here. So, Manny, my story,
yes,
is quite interesting, to say the least. I was born, 45 years ago to an immigrant family that came to the U.S. from Greece. And they came here like many other immigrants. They came here pretty much with nothing and made something happen and raised a family. And I had a very interesting, how do I say this the proper way? I was raised in a very interesting way. I was raised very old school, traditional.
Okay.
Because that's where my father comes from. My father, before he passed away 10 years ago at the age of 76, he was 18 years older than my mother when they got married. So my dad was like, okay, a man's sperm is going to work forever. And if I want to have kids, I need to find a young lady. Right. So, he found my mother. I believe she was 22 or so when they got married, and about 23 when I was born. So they didn't waste any fucking time there, getting right to it. When you're about to, I think my dad was like 39, almost 40, when I was born. So, when you're about to turn 40 and you want kids, you got to get down to business, right, Manny?
This is true. I got time though. I'm 34, so I got some time.
Yeah. We both have some. We both have some. Well, maybe you have more time than me. Well, I guess we both have plenty of time. For a man, our sperm never runs out. But you know, nowadays with the way women are, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here as well. It's you know, a lot of young women don't want to be with a 45-year-old man. They don't want kids, period. But we'll get to that later on. But anyways, back to the story here.
Yeah.
So you know, I was raised in a very interesting way, very old-fashioned, old-school, traditional. Um, my father's parents were extremely old school, and they were very strict with the way they raised my father and my father's sister, who's my aunt. She's still around and lives nearby where I live here in the Bay Area. And so, you know, when I was being raised, my father raised me the same way his parents raised him. And to make a long story short, you know, things are different nowadays. And as I was growing up, things were starting to become much more different. You know, with women's liberation and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, where women became, you know, more liberated and started working in the workforce. And what wasn't realized by the way parents were raising their kids at that time is that the world was changing. So the way that we were being raised was not going to help us as we got older. Because now it's totally different. Now traditionalism is dead.
Yeah.
So when did you say that, Manny? I mean, you've been married, buddy, and I know I interviewed you and we kind of talked about this, but we can kind of rehash this a little bit. It's a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think more and more, I mean, what I see more and more women are trying to, you know, focus more on their careers, less on marriage, less on children, stuff like that. But I'm not going to say, like, I mean, I don't know the statistics off of memory or anything like that, but I would say, like, more and more as the generations is growing and we have become a world of more technology driven and stuff like that. It's, I don't know, it's getting a little bit crazy.
Yeah, no, it's getting very crazy. It's very easy for people to meet nowadays without even leaving their home. And even if they're leaving their home, they have, you know, the smartphone, they have the iPhone, the Android, and they're getting all that shit coming to their phone. So
we got Tinder, we got all these different dating apps. We got what, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, all this stuff that we're now like you said, like back then. If a guy wanted to meet a girl, he would go out and, you know, find them either in a church. Some guys found them in bars or clubs and stuff like that. And now more and more, people are dating more, like, you know, just going on apps, going online, trying to like date people and all that. So
they're hooking up, Manny. It's become more of a hookup culture.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of women
and
Gemma Grace. Yeah, exactly. And Gemma Grace in the chat was saying that you know, personally, I choose to be in a relationship. Not all women are career focused.
Well, yeah, you know that. That's why I said not everyone is like that. That's why I don't like. It might be a 50-50. I don't know. I don't.
It's definitely it's not 50-50, brother. Here's the thing. It's more like maybe 90-10. You know, there are 90% of the women out there I'm thinking have been indoctrinated in this feminist culture, and 10% or less are like Gemma Grace, maybe my ex-girlfriend to a certain extent. And a few other decent women that I've known. You know, it's even this woman I've been kind of hanging out with lately. It's not serious, but we've been hanging out, and she wants to get serious. But you know,
that's a good thing,
kind of taking it.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Well, I'm taking it slow, man, because you know, like, you know, I'm barely 5.5, almost 6 months out of my last relationship, and you know, I'm not a rebound type of guy. You know, but I do enjoy the company of a woman, and quite frankly, I enjoy sex, but I don't need to have sex to be happy. You know,
True.
It doesn't mean I'm an incel like all these guys say in the MGTOW community. They have this term in the MGTOW, men going their own way community, which is incel. It's called involuntary celibate. I am not an involuntary celibate person, meaning that I'm celibate not by choice because I can't get a woman. I can't. I just choose what I want to do because I'm a man going my own way.
Right.
I may not be MGTOW according to what their standards are, but every man is a man going their own way, and that's the way I choose to go. But yeah, it's
like me right now. I'll say that real quick. Like I agree with you. Like right now, like for me, I would say, I mean, I'm a man going on my own way, but I'm also right now trying to stay single on purpose and trying to focus on me and work on my characteristics. And when the time comes and I'm ready to date, I will. So I hear you, man.
Yeah, it's your see, Manny. Here's the thing: we can talk about that more as the show goes on. I've been kind of scrutinized by this. You know, my beliefs and the way that I coach people. You know, they do have a lot of old school traditional values. Um, so you know that's why a lot of people think that my ways are not the proper way. But you know what? You know, I think everyone should choose whatever they want to do when they want to do it, as long as they're aware of what the risks are. That's fine. If you choose to take the risk of dating someone in today's modern world, that's up to you. But you shouldn't be shamed for it. You shouldn't be ridiculed for it or criticized for it. You know, you should be supported and say, "Hey, look, if you do this, this is what might happen." But it's the choice is up to you. I'm not going to force or project my views onto you. And that's the problem I have with a lot of people nowadays, Manny, is that they try to project their views onto you rather than just accept you for who you are, whether they agree with you or not.
Right.
I think you should just be supportive.
And I was gonna say a lot of times, like, well, it's something like we both got to continue to remember. Like, that's their opinion. It's not based off of truth or facts. That's just what they think. But that doesn't mean like you have to agree to what they are telling you what to think. Because you got our own mind, just like me. We both got our own minds and our own brains, and we have our own opinions and perspectives. And you know, people could tell us one thing and say like, "Hey, you need to do it this way. You need to do it this way." But that doesn't mean you need to do it this way. That's just their opinion. So we don't need to take it, because if it's not true for facts, then it's just an opinion. It doesn't really mean anything. So go ahead.
Right. No, I totally agree with you. You know, the kind of guy I am, like I said, Manny, you know, I may not agree with what you or anyone else says for a particular in a particular subject, but that doesn't mean I'm going to criticize you. You know, I can accept what you're saying,
right?
You know, but I have my own opinion on it. But just because I have my own opinion on it, which may differ from yours, doesn't mean I'm not going to be your friend or want to hang around with you.
Right.
I think everyone should be entitled to their opinion as long as they don't project their views onto you and kick you down if your views are not in exact alignment with theirs. The bottom line is, Manny, everybody is different and everybody comes to the table in a different way. Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
I was gonna say we should all respect each other's opinions. Like you said, you have your views, I have my views, but as long as we respect each other's opinions and stuff like that, it should be fine. But see, not everyone does that. Not everyone respects each other, and that's the problem.
Well, you know why that happens, Manny, in my opinion, and we'll get back to the story and where it's led me today. A lot of people don't respect other people's opinion solely on the fact that they're not happy with themselves emotionally. Maybe they've been through something. Maybe they've gone through a divorce and were divorce raped and taken for half their shit, or they, you know, had a bad breakup. You know, even men that are supposed to be emotionally strong, it's supposed to be the rock, okay, of the relationship. Okay, that's what makes a woman feel comfortable in being with a man, is a man's emotional strength. Even a strong man that gets dumped by a woman that he was emotionally attached to, it's gonna hurt him.
Oh yeah,
okay?
I got
a lot of these. Yeah, so a lot what a lot of these guys may realize or may not realize is that they're projecting their views onto guys like me that have been able to get past, you know, the tough aspects of going through a bad breakup. You know, I've been able to move past that, you know, emotional separation and move forward, even though it's still hard. I still look back at all my exes and sometimes I wish maybe if I did something different, I could have made it work with them. But at some point, you have to cut it off and move forward, and you have to be strong. And I think for some men, it takes a lot stronger for them to get past that emotional hump to become stronger again. In the meantime, what they do to help themselves soothe their anxiety or subside their emotions of hurt from the past is they will attack guys like me or you that are in a better place already because they wish they could be there.
Right.
Now, the guys that watch this video and hear me say that, they're gonna criticize what I'm saying right now. But the reason why they're criticizing it is because, once again, I'm calling them out on exactly what they're going through, and they just don't want to admit it. When they're ready to come out and say, "Hey, look, you know what? I've got some emotional issues. I'm hurting over the past. I need some help. Can you help me? I really don't want to be this way." Until they can come and take ownership of that, no one can help them. They can't even help themselves until they own it. But anyway, so
now,
back to you before we continue.
Say, and do you feel, Eli, that that's what you feel like, that's in a way that's your mission, to help guys who are extremely emotionally they're not dealing with their own darkest stuff. Like, they're not really evaluating themselves. They're not really, like you said, like, and that's true. A lot of people, if they're miserable, they want to bring you down too. That's the thing. Like, people don't want to see us happy. They don't want to see us doing well, because they want us to be in their level. They want us to steep to their misery. And what is it? Misery Lights Company or something like that? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, misery attracts company. James Cox is in your chat. Is that the real James Cox?
I don't know.
I'm checking right now.
I think so.
That's Cox. I'm going to subscribe.
I mean, I can. Hey, James, you want? Well,
I just subbed to James Cox from my new channel. Hey, James, great to reconnect with you, man. I'm still a part of James.
Are you there?
Cox, we should definitely reconnect at some point. I definitely have had an attitude shift. You know,
Eli, you're freezing up. Can you hear me? Hold on, Eli. Can you hear me? Are you still there? Check. Eli. Hold on, guys. I think I'm losing him. Are you there? Hold on, guys. 1 second. Don't understand why we are having a hiccup. But James Cox, thanks for coming to my live stream, man. Look forward to stopping by your channel, and we could get down to business and talk and chat and hang out. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I could call Eli again. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. One second. I'm going to invite Eli again. 1 second. Give us 1 second. Anyway, thanks, James Cox, for being here. Thank you, Gemma, for being here. While Eli comes back on, I want to see who else is here. You guys have any really good questions you guys want me to answer? Let me know. James, I made you a mod, man.
Manny, are you there?
I am.
Are you still live, man?
I'm still live. I wanted to keep going strong, man.
No, I don't know what happened. I have fiber.
We had a little hiccup. It's okay.
Technical
problems,
yeah.
Like always.
Well, I think what happened is sometimes, you know, the connection drops for a second every so often, even on a fiber connection. But we are definitely back, man. I apologize for that.
Man, no worries. It happens. Technology sucks sometimes. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, when you have a fiber line, man, there should be absolutely no issues. It's just the cleanest freaking. I have 1 gigabit up and 1 gigabit down now, 1,000 up and 1,000 down. But anyway, we're back. Let's continue. But the real James Cox is here, and thank you to James.
Thanks, James.
You know, and Manny, what I was saying before I got cut off there is that I'm not trying to take over the hosting reins of your show, but I just love to.
No, man.
I love to acknowledge people.
No, man, that's why I invited you, because I wanted to interview you and get to know you better. I want people to check out your channel, and because we both think alike. We're both in a place where we're like-minded. We want to help better people. We want to be able to help people, you know, where they get stuck. We want to help them continue to succeed in life. So we're on the same page here, man. So keep going.
Absolutely. So can you hear me okay and see me okay? Is everything in sync and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. My lips are moving like with my voice, right? I had an issue.
You're not an anime cartoon like Japanese.
No, but it's in sync, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You're not like a Japanese cartoon. You know how some of the Japanese animes, they talk like super, super fast and they're not really synced?
Yeah.
So you're not doing that. You're good.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing to hear. It's a good thing to hear. Well, okay. So, Manny, like I said, I was raised in a very traditional household. My father used to work 14 to 16-hour days, typically almost 7 days a week. So I was primarily raised by my mother. I did see my father, almost every day, at least in the morning before he went to work. And, sometimes if I was up late at night on a school night because I was waiting for my father to come home because I missed him, I would see him. But I think that's another thing that kind of threw me off growing up, to be honest with you, because I was more so raised full time by my mother, who was a homemaker. They used to call them housewives. Nowadays, the politically correct way to say to say housewife is homemaker. So, I honestly feel that I was raised. Don't get me wrong. I had a great upbringing. I had everything. I went to private school my entire life. Had a great education and all that. But I think the missing element that I was that was missing was spending more time with my father. Because he was working, trying to provide for the family in one of the most expensive places to live in on the planet, which is the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
But that's where my father wanted to raise his family. He did a lot of research and found out that the San Francisco Bay Area is the place to be. It's very safe in most areas. The weather is great. There's lots to do, and there are lots of jobs. So he wanted to do that, but that came at a price of pretty much having to work your ass off all day, every day, just to make it work. And that's what you have to do. You have to balance it, man. It's like, that's why there's a lot of divorce happening nowadays, especially out here in the Bay Area, because you're working your life away just to pay your freaking mortgage of these $1 million homes.
Yeah.
And then you have no time to spend with your wife, and no wonder why your wife is out banging some other guy, because you're working all day. You have no time to even bang your wife anymore. I mean, I hope I can say that here, man, but I'm trying to be honest with you.
Well, I'm not
you know what I mean?
I don't think it matters. But
you're a clean guy, dude. I'm a little more raw. I'm quite a bit raw, but anyway. But
no worries, man.
So,
good.
It's all good. So yeah, pretty much. My upbringing was very different, and again, because of the fact that things have now changed, especially starting in the early '90s with the third wave of the women's movement. Women have become much more empowered. They're more so in the workforce. Women are more career focused than relationship focused, than marriage focused, and women have been taught this in school, but men have not been taught this. So there are a lot of young men out there wondering what the fuck's going on? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, why are women like not nice and sweet and lovable and adorable like they used to be? I mean, so part of what I do is I help both men and women understand how to navigate through this crazy modern world that we live in. Manny, we're in a transition period in our world right now, because for the first, for the first, almost 2,000 years, we were indoctrinated into a traditional lifestyle and the way the good Lord made things to be. Now, I believe in God. Whether you believe in God or others believe in God doesn't matter. I still love you, but I know most people believe that the way the good Lord meant for things to be was for a man and a woman to cohabitate and to reproduce, have children, and continue life form, right?
Right.
But now, over the last 55 years or so, since the Civil Rights Act here in the U.S., where we live, and in other countries, they had their own act. They had their own, system which empowered women. It changed everything. And again, women are being taught how to navigate through this, but men are not being taught how to navigate through this. And that's where I think the problem lies. So that's what's kind of confused me. And as I've grown up and had all these relationships and I've seen how women were changing right in front of my eyes. Initially, I didn't know what the hell to do. I didn't know what was happening myself until I started connecting with people online, and asking other men what they're going through, and then realizing that, yeah, we've got a big problem, and that's radical feminism. That's where I think it stands. But that's what I do. I help people navigate through this crazy modern world, whether you're a man or a woman. I just don't focus on men. Maybe I primarily focus on men because I feel they need more help than women do. But
Thanks,
I respect.
I agree, because men are like you said, traditionally, and what you and me have learned, because I think we're in the same generation, that we were taught to be leaders. We were taught to lead women to like. And I think, and that is a huge problem. That's the thing. Like a lot of times, like a lot of men haven't grown up with their like father figures and stuff like that. So they're like, a lot of them are either like, end up in jail because they're doing all these, like trying to sell drugs, whatever. Because they learned taught, like, I guess they didn't, some men didn't learn the morals, like ethics and stuff like that, right and wrong, things like that. And I believe that, it's our jobs as men, as leaders, especially if we want to get married, remarry, whatever, in a way, God called us to be leaders. God called us to be the spiritual leaders in our families and to lead well.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem that guys are having today, which is why women are stepping all over them. Women have been empowered to become very strong, and a lot of men that don't know how to handle that.
Right.
What's that? What's that?
I said now that because men are not stepping up to the plate and being men, women have to step up because the men don't want to be the leaders, so then the women end up being the leaders, which is
yeah. Well, here's the thing: women are being empowered to basically be equal to men. So they're basically, stepping up, and they are as strong as men have always been. But that's throwing off the young men, because when you're young, you're learning how to become strong. You're learning how to be a man. Before you're 18, you're basically a boy. And that's why I feel it's important to have both your mother and your father raise you, because your father's going to teach you how to be a man. Your mother's going to show you your more nurturing, compassionate side, and that makes you a well-balanced man. But because there are lots of divorces and lots of kids nowadays are being raised by a single mom or a single dad, or they're dealing with a divorce, that it kind of messes them up. So what's happening to these guys is that they're seeing these women that have become very strong, and it scares them. So they become, part of my French, they become big fucking pussies, and it turns these women off, because women, Manny, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
From what I've learned, what I've seen, women are attracted to the emotional strength of a man, not the emotional weakness. Right. So if a woman is, and this is with no disrespect to women, if you want to be equal, no problem. I love that. That's no problem. But what I'm saying is that women, if you want to be equal, and then you try to date a man that is, let's say, as emotionally strong as you, or weaker than you emotionally, it's going to turn you on. I think the best position, let me ask you this, Manny. The best position that I feel for a man to be when dating a modern day woman, it's not to be way far ahead of her or beneath her. It's to be in what I like to call the one-up position. Just barely one up, meaning that he needs to have just a little bit more stronger strength than her. Not way out of this world anymore, because that's going to turn a woman off. Okay, you need to be in the one-up position, because a woman still needs to be able to trust your masculine core. If you two were in ever any danger, that you'd be able to protect her. If the woman is stronger than you and she can, run all over you, how is she going to feel safe for you to protect her if any danger comes your way? Right? Does that make sense to you?
No, it makes sense. And I was going to add to that women want men to it's a man's job to have a woman a safe space, a safe container. And because I believe in that 100%. If the woman doesn't find that they're safe around the man, they're gonna leave him. They're gonna say like, "Hey, I don't feel safe with you. Why should I be with you?" And I agree what you were saying about the fact that I mean, it's true. A woman wants a man emotionally strong, because like you said, they're weaker, not and the woman is stronger emotionally. And that's another thing you also taught me, and I have been learning a lot about. Women don't want a clingy man. They want a man that like knows what he wants, knows already his goals, has things set in line. Like, hey, I know I want to have this job, or a man that's already doing these things. That's what women feel attracted to. Not like a guy that's like, in a way a girly man, if you want to call it that. But it's true. The girls don't want a man that's going to be always emotionally weaker than them, or they don't know what they want. What is it? Undecisive. There it is. I think a lot of women hate undecisive men that they don't know what.
Oh yeah,
and they're not like
yeah.
leading
Because
in any way. Go ahead.
you're right. No, Manny, what you're saying is that, okay, masculine energy is strength. It's masculine energy is certainty. It's being decisive, making a decision
Confident.
with no disrespect to women. Okay, the way the good Lord made women was naturally to be uncertain about things. So they look up to a man for his strength, his certainty, right?
Right.
The problem you have today with modern day feminism is that, you know, what women are being indoctrinated into is a culture of saying we are equal to men, which is fine in some standpoints. We need to be equal. Women should have equal civil rights. They should have the right to vote. They should have the right to bear arms. They should have the same rights we have. But from an emotional standpoint, this is where the difference is at. Men and women are different emotionally. And that's what people are not understanding. Like a woman,
because we were created that way. We were created to be strong and leaders. Like even look at all the movies. Like all the movies that like Braveheart. Like give me some movies still. I know Braveheart is a big one. Like, you know, you see men like, I mean, war is not always a good thing, but you see this one guy on the hero's journey. You see him coming from like a really crappy situation, and then he becomes into this leader, into this like, hey, let's do this. We got to fight. We got to do what's right. And that's what girls love. Girls love men that know what they want, that are confident, that are like inspiring. Because they don't want to see someone that's super weak. Like I was gonna say, it's okay to show emotion. It's okay for us, like especially I've gone through a divorce. It wasn't easy, man. Going through that separation and divorce line for me was very, very hard.
It sucks
because I've always been a person of being positive and optimistic. That's what helped me keep on going. There's a what is it? Even in scripture in the Bible, it says like there's a time and place for everything. And like if I need to break down and cry, I break down and cry alone. But then I pick up, I get back up, and I ready to continue to move on and move forward. And that's the thing. Like it's okay like for men, because a lot of men think like, oh, you're being a sissy if you cry and show emotion. Because see, our generation taught. All right. You would agree. Our generation was taught like it's not good for a man to cry. If a man cries, it's showing emotion, it's showing weakness. But emotions is not a bad thing. It's okay to vent. That's why what is it? Like the other day I was trying to get into an interview at a local church because I'm trying to get into my counseling, getting into the field that I really feel called to. And what I was listening to is more female counselors than men counselors. In other words, men don't want to get counseling. They don't want to get healing. They'd rather just do it on their own. And that's the thing. In life, we cannot do things on our own. We were made to have tribes. We were made to have community. We were made to network, in other words. We can't, because you and me agree, we can't do this on our own. We're going to fail miserably. We need people. We need to do life together, not separate. So go ahead.
Manny, what you're saying, in other words, also is, men and women, and I'm talking about straight men and straight women. No disrespect to the gay, lesbian culture, and now we have this gender non-conforming, non-binary culture. We can get that in a little bit. I'm talking about straight men and straight women. Straight men and straight women were meant to work together. We are a great team when we're working together, and we're helping each other out, and we're not trying to always one up each other. Okay, I think the only time it's okay to be in a one-up position in a relationship with a let me be very clear, because today we have so many different genders and non-conforming and conforming crap going on and all that. No disrespect, I'm just saying it. Right? It's confusing. When the only time it is okay for a straight man, in my opinion, to be in the one-up position with a straight woman is when it comes to emotional strength. If a man is not at least slightly emotionally stronger than the woman, then the woman, no matter how strong she feels she is, she's going to be turned off by that man. She's going to come out and say, I don't need a man for anything. Why do I want to be with a man that I am emotionally stronger than? What's that going to do for me? What does she need that man for? She's working, making her own money. She's got her own place, her own car. She doesn't need a man to be the provider. And if she wants to have kids, she can go to a sperm bank and get inseminated. Now, granted, that does still take a man or a group of men to go there and, pardon my French, jack off in a cup and go and fill up the sperm bank, right? But see, men need to understand the position they're in today, and they don't understand the fact that it primarily stems down to emotional strength. Okay. And you can't, another thing, Manny, is you can't put a woman on a pedestal. You can't sit there and basically,
idol, right?
What's that?
You can't make them into an idol, a god, in a way.
No, because what attracts women, I hate to say this, women are weird in this way. Women are attracted to what they can't have, and men are kind of in the same position. The problem with us men is that we're horn dogs, man. Even us nice guys, we can see, and pardon my French, a nice piece of ass, right? And then we're like, you know, then our peepees, you know, get hard, and we're like, oh boy, she's hot. We want her, right? Manny, come on, but look at you, man. So I'm looking at your face right here to the hangout, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm a man, dude. I get it. I totally get it. But see, it's how you behave. Here's the thing: let me give you an example. If you're hanging out at a bar or somewhere, wherever you're at, and there are single women around, and let's say you want your best shot of, you know, going on a date with one of them, the less attention you pay to them, the better it is, because they're being hit on by every other man, right? If you're the one that stands out, maybe you go up and say, hey, how's it going? Just wanted to stop on by and say hi. You ladies look marvelous, fantastic tonight. Hope you're enjoying your night here. And then you just walk away, right?
They're gonna walk away. They're gonna say, like, oh crap, this guy is not hitting on me. what he got,
this guy,
right?
This guy has balls, right? You walk up to them, right, Manny? And then you say hi, and then you walk away. Guess what? They're going to be watching you throughout that bar or wherever you're at, right?
Right.
And then they're going to probably see you talking to other women, and they're going to be like, why didn't he keep talking to us? I mean, all these other guys hit on us, right? So as a man, okay, you have to value yourself and go in there and say, look, you know what? I am hot. I am hotter than they are. Even if the woman's hotter than you, you in your head as a man have to have the confidence. I am the hottest thing here. Now, you don't go out there and tell everyone that. You want to be humble. But right. You have to motivate yourself, and you have to feel your value within, and then it'll exude to everyone else. And guess what will happen? 100%. You know, half an hour later, those ladies will come and say, hey, you want to dance or something? Or you know what? You want to hang out? It's funny what women will do when you pay less attention to them. But you got to do it in a way where, you know, you make them aware that you're there, but then you back off. So you go in, you say hello, you introduce yourself to the room, and then you back off and just go and enjoy yourself. And the right people will flock back to you, man. That's what a lot of guys don't get. Like, they overdo it. They're like a sick puppy dog when it comes to women. And women are nowadays with feminism, women are trained to look for that, right?
Right.
So they know women have a radar to where they can spot a beta male in like 2 seconds. So you gotta be on your A game if you want to have that chance. That's my opinion. What's that?
I said you gotta be the alpha dog. In other words, like, you gotta be confident. You know what you want, but like you said, like, you know, I agree with what you said. Like, you know, introduce yourself. You represent that you're confident and you know who you are. Because that's the thing. And now that almost goes back to identity. If you don't know your identity, you're gonna be lost in this world because you don't know who you are, because you're listening to everyone else's opinions and what they think of you, but it's not your own identity. You're just following someone else's. So that's the problem with this world and society. Like, a lot of people don't know who they really are, so they're just going like everyone. Yeah. They're following the trend. They're following the crowd. They're not being individuals in that sense. So
see, Manny, here's the thing. It's like, you know, you don't want to be an asshole or a dick. You don't want to be a jerk. You don't want to be an arrogant, pompous ass. But at the same time, and pardon my French, this is the best way I mentioned on my channel and through other people's interviews, is that you don't want to be a big fucking pussy. You don't want to be a sissy. You want to be something in the middle, which is what I like to call cocky funny. You want to be cocky a little bit, but cocky funny, not cocky arrogant, playful. You want to tease your woman. You want to treat her kind of like a bratty little sister. You know, you want her to you want to make her laugh, okay? And if you're able to balance that out, okay, by not being a real asshole or being a big fucking pussy. If you can balance it out in the middle, that is the best recipe to keep your woman attracted to you. You know, if you're not able to do that, man, you know, you're either going to be looked upon as a beta male, or you're going to be looked upon as a super jerk that's not dateable. Now, if you're a super jerk that's not dateable and you're a really good looking guy, a woman might have sex with you once or twice, and, you know, because you're a hot guy and maybe she hasn't had me in a while. I mean, let's be real about that. That's what happens nowadays. But you're not going to have a sustainable relationship with somebody in today as a man unless you're a well-balanced man and, you know, you more so are a cocky, funny guy. You're not a sissy, but you're not a big jerk. You're somewhere in the middle. You have, and you also have to stand up for yourself. If there's something that the woman you're with is doing that you don't agree with or you don't like, you have to immediately talk with her about it.
Oh yeah,
and if she's not open, go ahead.
I was gonna say no. I hear what you're saying. In other words, we have to set up boundaries. We got to set up negotiables and non-negotiables, because I mean that was one of my biggest flaws. I'll be honest, in my marriage. Like, I mean, you know my story. I wasn't really prepared, but what I'm realizing, what I have learned a lot, is to have negotiables, have non-negotiables. You know, especially like if it's my faith, if I believe in God and Christ, a woman should never take that away from me or trying to persuade me into their own faith or religion. I got to know who I am and my own faith and stuff like that. And you know, those are non-negotiable. I mean, but there's some things you can negotiate, like, hey, like even let's say you're in a relationship and you're living together, you know, negotiate something. It's like, hey, if I do the cooking, can you help me do the cleaning? Like stuff like compromising. So under that thing, but keep going. Good.
I agree with you, man. I'll tell you, again, where I think the problem stems from is it does stem from feminism. Feminism is not completely a bad thing. I think feminism, the real true meaning of feminism is women having rights. If you look at the actual definition, it's women having equal rights, equal civil rights to men. What modern day men that have been, you know, what modern men that have gone through a bunch of crap because of the way the modern world is refer to feminism as, they refer to it as the radical feminists, as the women that are going out there and taking advantage of the system and requesting special privileges. And that's where the problem is. Like I said, you know, a lot of women are being indoctrinated into this culture at a college level or even a high school level. Women are being taught that an education is important and working is important. As far as men go, men aren't being taught shit about the modern world. The focus has shifted almost completely onto women, and it's leaving men behind. And maybe the feminists or maybe colleges out there are assuming that men already know their role in society. Well, yes, we know our role. Our role has never changed before and now, even after, you know, radical or modern day feminism started after the Civil Rights Act in 1964 here in the U.S. The problem is that's changed the way women are behaving, and a lot of men aren't being taught how to deal with that. And so that's where I feel the problem is at. We need to share with our young men nowadays.
I was about to hit that. I was about to say that. Like,
go ahead, man. But that's where the problem is at. We're not teaching men. We're you know why we're focused on women, Manny. Before I turn it back to you, I don't mean to be going on a tangent, but here's the thing. We're in a system right now where, at least here in the U.S., and it's probably similar, you know, worldwide, where here in the U.S., women have 85% of the buying power. So 85% of all purchases are made through a woman, by a woman, for a woman, etc. Right?
Right.
So when you put yourself, for example, like on YouTube, a lot of men that had channels where they would talk about these things, their channels have been demonetized. YouTube will not play ads on them. Why is that? Because if women have 85% of the buying power, okay, and you are a man that's talking shit about feminism, okay, and then you put an ad on that channel, and it will you put an ad on that channel that's selling a product that women buy. If a woman comes across that ad and then sees what you're saying on your channel about feminism, she's going to get offended by that, and she's going to complain to the sponsor or YouTube or whatever, because that's the way women are. They're emotional. So what has YouTube done, and what has the mainstream media done, is that they're catering their content to where 85% of the money is at. They're catering their content to women because, again, 85% of the money that's being spent out there is being done by a woman, through a woman, for a woman, etc. Okay? If you go to women's channels on YouTube that are talking shit about men, they're fully monetized. They're not being attacked. They're not being silenced. It's just men are being silenced. So we're living in a modern world, Manny, where because of what's happening through feminism and all of that, it shifted the economy in a way to where it works better for corporations, the government, etc., to cater their shit to women more so than men. No disrespect. I'm speaking the facts. If we were to, how do I say this the right way? If they didn't try to silence men and they allowed advertising to continue on these channels where we're talking about, feminism and our issues with women, then women would be so mad they'd stop spending money, and the profits of these corporations would go down and things would fall apart. The system right now has been rigged in a way, that in my opinion, it's fake and it sucks. And it's become a feminized system because it's a more profitable system than if we were to go the other way around. You see what I'm saying? A lot of men are more frugal with their money. I'm not saying there aren't frugal women out there, but a lot more men are better at saving, and we are less prone to make impulse buys than women are. So the way the system is set right now, money is flowing better per se for the government and corporations. And it's working for women. It's working for corporations. It's working for the government. But you know who it's screwing over, Manny? It's screwing over straight men. Straight men are getting the shaft. And that's just my opinion. That's where I think it all stems back to money. I hate to say it. It shouldn't be all about the money, but Manny, I hate to say it. It's all about the money, brother.
Unfortunately.
What are your thoughts, man? I mean, I know I went on a tangent, but that's how I feel about it.
It's a really sticky situation. No, I agree with what you're saying. I was gonna say also, because I was thinking, but what as men, for us, like, what can we do now to help the younger generation, because I feel like maybe a lot of men are not mentoring other younger people. I think that's our responsibility to start, first men have to know who they are, but then once they know who they are, if they're able to lead, then they need to start leading the younger people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? Do you mind if I read a comment from Gemma in the chat? It's very interesting.
All right.
Okay. A couple comments here. She writes, yes, men and women are created to be differently, but also women are also told not to be so emotional. I get told to control myself. Emotions are all about self-control and how you respond to what's happening in this certain situation. Let me respond to that, and we get your thoughts on that as well, Manny. Here's the thing. Women were made to be emotional creatures by the good Lord. Okay?
Right.
Whoever out there is saying that women need to control their emotions, you're a fucking idiot, pardon my French. Whether you're a man or a woman saying that. Especially if you're a woman saying that, you're more of an idiot because you know you're an emotional creature. That's the way women are. Women, naturally, in the way God made them to be, okay, are going to respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment.
Right.
Men are going to think about things logically, when they hear somebody say something, and we're going to process it logically before we respond, and then we may or may not respond to it, or we may let out some emotion or not. It just depends. But men are more so made to naturally have the ability to think things over. I'm not saying that women are not capable of thinking things over before responding emotionally, but that's not part of the way the good Lord made women to be. Women are emotional beings, and that's just the way they are, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with what I'm saying or not. Don't take it up with me. Take it up with the big guy in the sky that created the woman. So, Gemma, I'm on your side with this. Look, Gemma, I've talked with you many times offline. You're a very emotional woman, but and I know you're strong too. Don't get me wrong. But you're emotional, and that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with having emotions.
Right. Now, there are some women that are extremely emotionally unstable and they go off the deep end. I think there's a point even for women's emotions where they become, too crazy. I mean, when I say a woman is emotional, and maybe when these guys are saying to Gemma, you need to control your emotions, there is a certain point where I like to call it, women are having an emotionally overloaded moment. They're emotionally overloaded. I'm talking about when a woman is at her normal, natural self, she's going to always be emotional. Now, if she gets emotionally crazy, then that's a different story.
Right, because she's not, in a way, like she's not balanced in that sense.
She's unstable. She's emotionally unstable.
Yeah, if it's too over.
Yeah, if she's overly emotional, she may be emotionally unstable. And here's the thing, like for men, we get chastised if we show any emotion. Like you're saying, Manny, earlier, I think it's okay for a man to show emotion. Right. Not all the time, but at times, we're human beings. We have a heart. But right. For a man, it's not natural for a man to be emotional 24/7. Okay, that's not normal right there. If a man is emotional 24/7, he's more so behaving like a woman.
He's gonna need some help, right? And there might be a imbalance somewhere.
And that could mean he has some emotional stability or he has some insecurities, which are not attractive qualities to women. Remember, women are attracted to a man's emotional strength. They're attracted to a man's certainty. They're attracted to a man's determination. Women are attracted to a man that makes shit happen and gets shit done and finds a way to get shit done no matter what.
Right.
Okay. That's what women are attracted to. That's just my opinion about that, man. By the way, Manny, thank you. For mod access, I've given you mod access on my channel as well. If I ever, I'm probably going to do some live streams eventually down the road. I haven't started them yet. Maybe you and I will start doing some between both of our channels. But thank you for the moderator access, man.
We'll get Charles eventually. The hater.
Yeah, we'll get Charles.
Who?
Yeah, we'll get Charles F. Gray, man. We'll get Charles F. Gray. Yeah, so what else, man? I mean, this has been pretty interesting, man. It's like I know you've been through a lot. I know that, you have a very interesting story when I interviewed you on my channel. And yeah, it's what makes me happy here, Manny, is the fact that, you and I have been through so much. And instead of, going down a path of self-destruction and letting it get to us, you and I, have found strength out of all this. We've turned the negative into the positive, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we're out here to talk with the people and try to help people learn from what we've been through, which at the same time, I'll be honest with you, man, it's very therapeutic for me to share my stories to help other people.
That's why, in a way, that's why I started YouTube. It became it was more of a documentation of my life from, going through the separation, into divorce, and now like in the process of healing and learning. Like I always try to learn as much as I can, either listening to podcasts, listening to your live streams or other people's live streams. I'm always willing to learn. I've always been open to that because I could learn so much from different people. And that's why I wanted to start even this whole podcast live stream series, because I want to meet different people who are, I find you inspiring and inspiration. The fact that you're very open, you're very honest. You share your opinions, and you're not afraid what other people are going to say about you. And that's what I draw to you. Like someone who I listen to a lot. I listen to Joe Rogan. I know you heard of Joe Rogan. The reason I like him so much is because he's the same thing. He's open, honest. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to be blunt. But also he has all these different exciting people, all these scientists, smart, people from USC to like I said, these scientists, authors, a whole bunch of stuff. So I enjoy people who are open to learning and to growing and stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna mention back because you had a topic about younger men, and I like that's something that I want to be able to help the new generations, because someone has to be like for men, we got to be teaching our younger men to be men, to like let them know like it's okay to show emotions, it's okay, but not like I said, not imbalance, because there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place to have emotions and stuff like that. But learning for these younger men, because I don't think anyone's really teaching these younger men to be men, or especially because they're not coming from like in a way we came from a traditional side, especially with religion and God. And I mean, you would agree, would you agree that this world has become a fatherless country, a godless country? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I was saying, we do need to help the younger men. They're the ones that are going to suffer the most. All men from here on out, unless they are educated on what's happening in the modern world,
They're gonna be lost.
They're going to be lost. The system's going to continue to fail. And here's the thing, we live in a world of capitalism, right?
Right.
Right now, the government, in my opinion, corporations, the government and corporations, and even the mainstream media, they are capitalizing off of feminism. Right now, feminism's a hot thing. It's been the hottest thing for the last at least 10, 20 years.
Yeah, and even as you and me were growing up and stuff like that, we didn't even bother having feminism or none of that. That's become, like you said, new now. We never had to worry about that before.
It is, Manny, because here's the thing. When you and I were growing up, and I'm a little older than you, I'm about 10 years old, a little more than, I'm 45, I grew up with shows like Family Ties, Who's the Boss?
Right.
I grew up with shows like Happy Days, yeah, exactly. The Facts of Life and all that stuff. And these were all, these shows were called sitcoms, situation comedies. They were family-friendly shows that basically, showed, it was acting, but they were portraying how a traditional family, was living.
Yeah,
they were showing, the struggles in raising the teenage kids and stuff like that, and what everybody goes through. Those were great days. And then you started getting into the 90s, and all that shit changed, man. You started things started going towards more of a reality TV type of thing, which is the biggest BS.
MTV and all that, yeah.
It was fake. It wasn't real TV, dude. They wanted you to believe it was real, but they would pay these people to act a certain way because drama sells. Like, we became a drama marketing culture. And a lot of that happens out here on YouTube. A lot of people out here, and yeah. I'll probably get ridiculed for this. I am not a drama marketer. People think that I am drama marketing to get ratings. No, this is who I am.
Right.
If the way I am at a normal, natural level creates drama, I can't help that. I'm just me being me. There are people, exactly. Right? I'm being myself. If that creates drama because I'm so different, then whatever, so be it. But the problem is, a lot of people are out there acting, and they're what I like to call shills. They're basically creating drama on purpose because they know it draws the attention of the people, and then they ask for PayPal donations, or they try to sell this group of people everything under the sun once they get them there. So this culture started happening like in the 90s, when we transitioned from the 80s situation comedy thing into this culture of radical feminism,
drama,
and drama. You're seeing more women empowered. You're seeing on these reality TV shows where these chicks are slapping men across the face, and the men just sit there and take it, right? And the camera zooms in on the guy.
But I would say, like, no, you're not going to touch me.
Right. Now, that I can assure you that was probably acting. Now, what's happened out here on YouTube?
Drama.
There were people.
Clickbait.
People were.
I was gonna say, sorry, real fast. The thing I hate people. I mean, you know this too. Like because you know me. I do like the paranormal stuff like that. But even the paranormal, like, I've seen a lot of YouTubers fake that too. Like, I really don't like clickbaiters. Like, in my channel, never gonna see me clickbaiting you because I'm authentic. I'm 100% me, and I'm not gonna be fake for anybody. I'm not gonna like just because like and I get it. I understand that they do it because there's a lot of views and that's how they get their income. That's how they make money. But I think there's another way of doing it besides clickbaiting people and pretty much being dishonest and lying to people. Because who's gonna trust a liar? Who's gonna trust a person that they'll click on a video, they see the title, it's like I'm trying to think of an example. Give me an example right now off of my mind. Give me something that would be a clickbaiting type of video. There's a lot, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'd rather you be authentic in yourself than be fake and be pseudo instead of your solid state self. I'd rather you just be real, and that because people are gonna like people who are genuine and transparent and authentic instead of like, oh, this person's a liar and he's dishonest and he's always clickbaiting people. No one's gonna want to follow like that. They're gonna like draw away from that. So, but anyway, keep going. I'll rant.
No, I totally agree with you on that, Manny. It's just interesting, where we've headed the last 20 to 30 years. Okay, so we're in 2019 now. All of this third wave of the women's movement, where the big shift happened from traditionalism to the way the modern world is now. I mean, it was starting to happen after 1964. It was happening before that, but we didn't really start feeling the effects until the early 90s. And then once we hit 2000, 2005 or so, around there, we've really started to more so see the effects of it. And that's because of what the mainstream media is portraying out there. The mainstream media is catering their content to what's getting people to tune in. Because if they don't get people to tune in, they're going to get no sponsors.
Right.
Okay. But at the same time, remember, women have 85% of the buying power. So what are they going to do? They're going to cater their content more towards content that's going to make women happy.
Right.
Okay. Most women out there, whether they're a good woman or not, if they see a woman on a reality TV show slap a man across the face, they're going to get a good laugh at it, or some will even say, "Good for him. He deserved that." Right? Okay?
Yeah, it depends.
And even the good women, like I've dated good women in the past, even the good women that feel this reality stuff is bullshit.
Yeah,
they may not agree with what's happening there, but they'll get a good laugh out of it too. They'll get a good laugh out of the guy getting slapped across the face by a woman, because back in the days of traditionalism, women wouldn't be caught dead slapping their man. If they slapped their man across the face, that was so disrespectful, that it was frowned upon. A woman back in those days, was dependent on a man for everything. So if she were to do that, that was the most disrespectful thing. Nowadays, women don't give a shit because they can do the same things that men can do. But at the same time, many women take it a bit too far, and they feel that they now have the right to revolt and also seek out special privileges. So now you have women slapping you across the face like it's no big fucking deal, right? And then you try to go to the cops and say, yeah, this chick slapped me across the face and this and that. What happens as a man when you go to the cops and you say that? They start laughing at you. But when a woman does it, when a woman goes to the cops saying you slapped her across the face, even if you didn't slap her across the face, the cops come and arrest you. Right? What kind of shit is that? I mean, see, that's the kind of stuff that we're dealing with nowadays that really upsets me. There are women out there that are taking advantage of the rights they were given. And they're basically, here's the thing. Not only has the script flipped from women not having, from men having all the power to women having pretty much all the power nowadays. I'll admit that they do. It's even become worse than that. It's become worse because women are taking it a step further in ways that men never did. When men had all the power, we would never slap our women. We would never hurt our women. I mean, I'm sure there were some guys that did, but we respected our ladies for their role, and they respected us for our role, and together we created a great family. Nowadays, That shit's all over the place, Manny.
Right.
What we see in the media, you know. And one more thing before I turn it back to you. I mean, on YouTube, even recently, over the past couple of years, there were a couple families that were, you know, slapping their kids around in their videos as a joke, right? They did it as a joke, right?
Right.
And I think it was the Family Daddy, whatever blog, whatever it was this one family had a lot of subscribers and they did a lot of crazy stuff in their videos. They were acting for the most part. But even though they were acting, their channel was shut down and they were arrested because basically they were showing violence and they were arrested for domestic violence with their kids. They were, even though they were acting just to get ratings on YouTube and to stand out. So it's really sick in the ways this world has gone, you know, nowadays, because and I hate to say it, it all stems back to feminism, in my opinion. Everything, all these changes stem back to feminism. You now liberate women who are emotional beings, and it's great for them to be liberated, but because they're emotional, them having equal rights isn't enough for them. Now they just want to control the whole fucking world. Not every woman. So the good women out there, I respect you. But women want to feel like they want to control the whole world. And quite frankly, many of these women, whether they say they respect men or not, their behavior shows otherwise. And I don't take anyone at their word initially, at least. I take people's actions.
Actions. Actions louder than words. You can say
actions speak.
But if your action is saying something else, you're pretty much lying in a way. So.
Right. So that's my thought about that, Manny. I know we're about an hour and a half. I know I've got to start wrapping this up soon because I got to get out to the park. But yeah, you do another 10, 15 minutes. Good with you, man?
Yeah. Yeah. So I know. So let's get let's fast forward. So okay, what drives you to wanting to be a life coach? Like, when did you decide to, like, oh, this is what I want to do? I want to do something in a psychiatrist, like counseling, you know, life coaching type of field. So what motivated you to get to that point? Because I know you've been doing this for a while. I don't know how many years you've been doing life coaching, but I want to hear, like, what made you want to get into this field? What made you want to, like, well, I mean, I know a little bit why you want to help men out and obviously women too. But what was the aha moment? What pushed you from motivation for a drive, you know, for being obsessed with it, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Yes. And I did that topic that you requested, motivation versus obsession. I am obsessed.
Here too. I mean, that was one purpose. Like, I want to hear more of your story and continue on. Like, when when did you start getting into it?
Okay, so yes, I am obsessed with the life coaching business. I think there's a time and a place where some obsession is normal and definitely. It's not normal. I love what I do. A couple of years ago, I decided to start a coaching business. And the reason why I started is because in my previous relationship, I was dating a woman that I thought was going to be my soulmate, and then she ended up cheating on me. And then she monkey branched up to this guy she was cheating on me with, and basically took advantage of me, took advantage of my resources, got what she wanted out of me, played the game right, and then basically kicked me to the curb. And now it's interesting. I'm totally over her. Okay. I've had another relationship and a breakup since that time. So yeah, my life is pretty interesting. But this was 2 relationships ago. And when I looked into her recently, just for shits and giggles, I found out that she got remarried to this guy that, you know, she cheated on me with. And she moved down to Southern California from Northern California, where her and I used to live, bought a house, and I guess is now happily married with him. It was the rage of that relationship, which also made me look back at past relationships that maybe, you know, I didn't go through that, but I went through some similar aspects. Okay. And it got me wondering, you know, what's really happening with women nowadays. Women seem so different than they used to be. And that's when I decided to start, my YouTube channel, my coaching business. I got involved with many communities online, including the men going their own way community. And let me tell you, that men going their own way community, it is a very interesting community. There are a lot of hurt men in that community, and there are a lot of people that seek out information through that community. And as crazy as that community has been the last couple of years, with men attacking each other on their views and shit like that, I won't get too far into it here today. I've learned so much from, this group of men that are sharing and discussing MGTOW, men going their own way knowledge. It's called Red Pill Knowledge. And we're also known as the Manosphere. So because of all of that,
Right.
it lit the match. After after 2 relationships ago, it lit the match to get it going. Now I've been through another relationship since that point, and this last relationship was far better. It was a great relationship. I made some mistakes, and I feel she made some mistakes. I've taken ownership of my mistakes.
That's the first. That's the first step of being a man.
Right, but Manny, my mistakes, were not. I never cheated on her. I never, abused her or anything. I kept a few things from her. There were some insecurities, that technically could have been really worked through. Okay. But at the end of the day, my last relationship was a good relationship, but she still broke it up with me, broke it off with me and moved forward. We don't need to get too far into it. I've gone into it on many other streams in the past. But the point of the matter is, even my last relationship, set some rage in me to the point of where, I wanted to come back and do things differently. I shut down my channel, my original channel.
I remember that.
About 2 weeks after my breakup, because I realized that I needed to get rid of everything on that channel. I had videos with my ex on there. She was on my former channel. That was a big mistake I made, is bringing my girlfriend at the time on the channel. Had I not done that, I'm sure things would have been different. I don't know if we would still be together, but there probably would have been a better chance of us being together if I never brought her onto my channel.
Right.
Okay. But yeah, I did feel a rage after my last breakup. For the first month and a half was very, very difficult. And after month 2, it just started getting better, and it gets better every single day. And do I still think about it to this day, almost 5.5, 6 months later after the breakup? Sure. It's still going to linger a little bit in your mind, but, I've gotten over it enough to the point of where, I want to move forward and continue doing what I felt I was meant to do. So I restarted a new channel. I wasn't going to do it, but I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I was only going to do things on Facebook initially. Right. And then people kept telling me, I should start a YouTube channel.
Come back to YouTube.
Right. Everybody was trying to pull me back into YouTube. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to ease myself back into it, because YouTube, no matter how crazy it can be on YouTube, it is one of the best platforms to get exposure on. They're owned by Google, so you get a lot of Google juice out there. Right. But I eased my way back into things. And now I've got a better grip. I'm not going on live streams with all these crazy people that used to belittle me on live streams. Now, they're still doing their response videos, and occasionally I've mentioned them in the past as example purposes within my videos. But I have a better understanding about how YouTube works. I have a better understanding of how trolling works. I know more so where to focus my energy at and where not to focus my energy at now. And so let me tell you something, dude. It was all a learning experience. And even like in my last relationship and my last YouTube channel, it was all a learning experience.
Right.
But even though I was about to completely I was basically going to shut down my coaching business and not come back. A couple months after, my last breakup, which if we go back about 4 months ago, 3.5, 4 months ago, I started missing something, and I started feeling like something was out of place. And it was the fact that this is what I feel I was meant to do. Whether I'm with my past girlfriend or not, it doesn't matter. I can do this on my own. I should have done this on my own even while I was with her, Yeah. So, that basically, what happened between my last two relationships is what's fueled most of the fire to want to do this. I have no resentment to any of my exes, even including the one that cheated on me. I don't hold any resentment. And you know what? Hey, I'm happy that you're with the person that you want to be. I don't condone what she did or some of the things that my other exes have done, but I don't hold any resentment. I can sit here and be a strong man and say, hey, you know what? Thank you for the memories. There were a lot of beautiful memories. And I had a lot of experiences. I went to a lot of trips with both of these past women, and we had some great times. Okay. Do I wish it could have gone further and maybe we could have been married and had a family and this and that? Sure. But you know what? Chalk it up to, hey, it wasn't meant to be. Things happen for a purpose. But that's where my passion stemmed from. That's where I'm different than most other coaches out there, Manny, because I think most other coaches out there are overly professional and they kiss your ass and they try to feed you a bunch of fluff. What you get from me is the real, raw, honest truth. And maybe that's why I appear like I come off as a drama marketer. I'm not trying to drama market. I'm here sharing my real life experiences. And if you think my experiences are cringy and stuff, they're real. This is what happens. No one else out there is sharing their real life stories in the same ways that I'm sharing.
And I was gonna say real quick, and that's what I draw from you. And like another guy, that inspires me so much is John Kim, the angry therapist. Because he's in a way. I mean, I don't know if you never got to check him out, but still go check out his stuff. He's authentic. He's just like you, no BS. He's shared his story of. I mean, he's gone through a divorce. He's been doing the whole life coaching and like because he's also a therapist like for over 10 years, and that's why I draw to him. The fact that he's authentic and he's upfront. He's like he's not fake, and I can feel that and I can sense that with him. And the same thing with you. I was gonna say real quick because I know time is wrapping up. Would you you have forgiven your exes? Like for me personally, I know I have forgiven her because I realized I made mistakes. I know I didn't leave her spiritually, mentally, physically. Well, I wasn't ready for that marriage, but I have learned a lot from that expired marriage relationship, and I have learned so much of now what to do in the future in other relationships and how to I guess learning from people. So for me, it sucked that I had to go through that, but I had to go through that in order for me to transform into being the man I need to be now. So that's what you feel like you have forgiven the ones that have hurt you and scarred you. And
yeah, give me a minute or two to explain this, Manny, because this is a big thing. Absolutely. I don't hold any resentment for anything that happened in the past, even to the ex that cheated on me. Okay, maybe I wasn't the right guy for you. I did gain some weight in both of my last relationships. Let me tell you something.
Right. Hey, I lost 10 pounds though. I got 20 more to go, but I'm going strong. I appreciate you.
You're gonna get there, buddy. Let me tell you, when you get into good shape, you feel good. Like I'm like, right at about 165, 167 pounds right now. I've been gaining some muscle lately. But I was at I was at 195 after my last relationship, and my previous one before that, I was at 200 pounds.
Oh wow!
And that's like a big one, biggest I've been. I did lose the weight before I got into, my next relationship, which was the last one. So after the lady that cheated on me, I went on the diet, lost the weight right away. And then, I got into my other relationship. But even in my last relationship, I got up to 195 pounds. Let me tell you something. Physical attraction nowadays is very important to a woman. If you even gain 20, 30 pounds, even in a year, they lose attraction for you. They do. No, even if they don't say it, they say, oh, it's okay. I gained some weight too. They'll say that shit. It's bullshit. Let me tell you something. When a man is fit and in good shape, your confidence is at its highest level. Like, I'll be honest with you. When I'm 30 pounds overweight, okay, I hate to even admit this, but I will. My confidence goes down the fucking toilet.
Yeah, because I mean, the body and the mind and everything is really important. And that's why I have learned a lot about health and taking care of your mind, body, and soul, because it all works together. And if you're like crab and putting crab in your body, then like that was something for me the last few weeks before I started really getting into routine and working out every day now. I realized like I'm coming home, I mean, I do maintenance work at a restaurant and stuff like that. I don't care, it's McDonald's, but anyway, I'm doing the grinding anyway. But anyway, what I realized, like when I was coming home every day, I was coming home tired. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to work out. I didn't even want to. I got to a point I didn't even want to make videos and stuff like that. And then like I was at work and I had like something shifted in my mind, telling me like I need to get out of this. I need to figure out what's causing me to not want to motivate myself to go work out. And it was probably the stuff I was eating, the junk I was eating. So ever since I've been doing that, and I'm gonna share this real quick because I know you gotta go. But I've been taking different supplements. It's a company called On It, and Joe Rogan also sponsored these. This is for mood and relaxation. So I've been taking this. This might be actually beneficial for you because you're also working out like me. It's called Shroom Tech. This is all natural, and even Joe Rogan says like buy it. There's like 100% guarantee. If you don't like it, you could get your money back. You could keep the bottle, but I've been taking this, and I've been all this stuff I've been taking has been helpful. Here's one more, real quick, because I know you gotta go soon. And so,
good.
Especially because you and me are older too, and that is another thing. Like I'm getting older, so I need to be taking care of my body. I need to be taking care of my mind. This is called Alpha Brain. This I've been working.
Alpha Brain.
It's been good. No, seriously, that's
Alpha Brain.
Alpha Brain. It helps with focus and memory. And Joe Rogan swears it up and down that he takes this every day, and he doesn't take this like during a UFC commentary or comedy, because he does comedy too. He says like he can't live without it. Like it really, really helps him. So these are supplements I've been trying to take, and this really been trying to transform my mind and my body, and really trying to eat and be as healthy as possible, because like I always been taught, and I know we only have one body, so we got to take care of it as much as we can and not put in crap, because if we eat crap, then we can't in other words, we shouldn't be complaining that we're feeling like crap and we don't want to do anything. It's because what we eat, and what we eat really affects us, and that's what people I'm hoping people are starting to see and realize and wake up that they're putting crap in their bodies, and they're not going to be the best version of themselves because they're not taking care of themselves, and that's almost an important of self-help and better development. If we have to learn to love ourselves first. I understand scriptures and the body says like to love your neighbors as yourself, but if you don't love yourself, if you don't learn to know who you are, so see, it goes back to identity. It goes back to self-love, because if you don't have none of these things, you're never going to be the best version. You're always going to be stuck in the same thing over and over and over, and you're going to be miserable.
Yeah, no, you make absolute perfect sense. I mean, I was using some supplements. Maybe they weren't the best ones to use, but I like them. Like
try on it. Check it out.
Well, okay, we'll do, man. Share some links in the description, especially if you have affiliate links. That would be great. We can, if we decide to buy. Yeah. Post them there, because in case we want to buy, then you can get a little kickback because you're a good guy. You deserve that. Whenever I go on a diet, like if I need to lose 20 or 30 pounds, quick, just because I want to get back on track, I can do it within about 5 to 6 weeks, maybe 2 months or so. And then it's about building muscle after that and maintenance.
Right.
It's not the best thing from what I hear, but I've used hydroxycut.
And does it really help? Does that stuff really help?
It does. Let me tell you what hydroxycut does, and what a lot of people don't understand is hydroxycut. It basically gives you energy. It boosts your energy. It's like caffeine, and it's got a lot of these pills will say, okay, it helps you burn fat,
right?
But in essence, all these pills, in my opinion, really do is they keep you awake, they keep you focused, and they give you the energy to go out there that you need to work out. Because like you're saying, Manny, there are days where you may get up and you don't feel like doing shit. You don't feel like doing a YouTube video. You don't feel like working out. You don't feel like doing anything. In order to get something done, to accomplish something, you have to feel good physically, mentally, and most importantly, emotionally.
Right.
If you're not feeling great emotionally, it's gonna weigh down your body physically at the same time.
Spiral, right? A spiral down. You would spiral.
Right, you're gonna spiral down. So all these pills do, and you basically use them for a limited time. You use it for like a month or so, and you take a couple pills twice daily before your two largest meals, or before your meals, and then you want to definitely watch your calories. At the same time, what I typically will end up doing is I minimize my carbs and my sugars when I'm trying to lose weight,
Right.
because those are the things that get processed differently. And it's not that you can't eat. It's not that you can't eat carbs and sugars. The thing is, when you eat carbs, sugars, etc., you feel hungry 20 minutes later. If you eat more protein, you stay full longer. So that way you eat fewer calories, and then you lose the weight. You need to basically
what do you call it? Good sugars and good carbs. Is that
good carbs and bad carbs, complex carbohydrates and regular carbohydrates? You're talking about vegetables and stuff like that.
Right.
Are the good. You can eat all the vegetables you want. Vegetables are great, like carrots. I'll tell you one thing. You want a tip here? Like, carrots are very, very low calorie. Those are great complex carbohydrates there. Carrots are like some of the best things you can eat as a snack, because they will fill you up. I mean, you could eat a ton of carrots and you're still under 100 calories, and then you're full. So that's a good carb right there. Absolutely. Right. So that's my thought about
maybe next time we'll talk more into the health, because that's something I find fascinating, especially I've been on a track of now really taking care of my body, my mind, and I want to perform as best as I can. And like I said, the supplements that I mentioned, they're a little pricey, but even he says it's copy. Like, he says, like, all these ingredients in the back of it, he says to take them and make it yourself, man. He's that confident. Like, even the Shroom Tech, this is like all of these are all natural vitamins. Shroom Tech is nothing but like B12s, and they have like a form of mushroom, but it's not that type of mushroom. Bad mushrooms, but
that's a good thing.
Extract, green tea leaf extract. So they're having stuff like these vitamins. They're pretty much vitamins. They, like, especially the Shroom Tech, I could definitely feel the booster when I take, is usually they want you to take like 4 before your workout, but I could feel the difference, and I could feel like the energy from it. And then usually I have the best sleep afterwards, because I have burned so much. What do you call it? I guess I burned a lot of carbs and stuff like that, and my body is actually want to shut down and stuff. So, but I think our time might be up. I know you got to
do final thoughts. We can do final thoughts, man.
I was gonna say, give me, what were your revelations for 2018, and what are your goals for 2019? I know we could get more deeper, especially I started working today. I started working on my 3-year plan and where I want to see myself in the future and where I want to go. And I think all those things are important, because a lot of times, like, this, like, everyone has these resolutions, new year, new me, all this, but yet, okay, you can say you're gonna lose the weight, but a lot of times people give up after a month or two, and then they just stop. But so I don't see it that. I see more for like goal settings for me, and for me it's more of revelations, what I'm learning from these things. So, what was your revelations of 2018, and what's your goal for this year? And then I guess we can wrap it up afterwards.
My revelations.
Yeah,
what I really learned in 2018. The biggest thing that I learned is that if you're going to become a public figure and you're going to, you want to make something out of yourself as a coach or whatever, and you use YouTube or another platform, keep your significant other out of it. To tell her about it, let her know what you're doing. She should be supportive of you in the background, but never bring her on your channel with her real name and information out there. I didn't know that in the past when I brought my ex on here, and it was a fatal mistake. Had I known better, had I experienced it in the past, I would have never done it. That was a revelation to me, because now I'm back. I'm technically single. I have been hanging out with somebody, in a platonic way.
Right.
But even if things were to progress with her, I mean, I would not bring her out here, and I would protect,
Keep it private.
her information. Right. And I don't think most guys out there, most people out there want to cause intentional harm. They just want to get a rise out of anything they can get their hands on. So, if you hand somebody something, like I didn't intentionally hand over my girlfriend to these people, to get ridiculed.
Yeah.
But that's, in essence, I learned that's what I was doing. I just didn't understand how the YouTube system worked, or how basically being a public figure online worked. Now I learned from it, and the revelation is that I'm going to do this on my own. I'm doing almost pretty much the same thing I was doing in the past, and I don't have any fears right now because I only have to worry about myself. I don't have to worry about my significant other.
Right.
So that's one thing, I've talked about in my videos, is if you're gonna, especially if you're a man and you're either married or you're in a relationship with a woman, okay, you got to basically, if you're going to become a public figure, you got to learn how to balance that out in a way to where, you're not going to let it consume you, where at the same time, you're also not going to get her involved and have her attack, and then it just creates a big mess. You don't want that to happen. You want to try to separate that as much as possible. You don't want to keep it from her, because if you keep anything from a woman, you're going to lose.
You're going to break that,
right?
And then they're not going to trust you, and they're not
going to trust you.
Relationship, yeah.
But you got basically, what I learned is how to better balance it, and I learned what to do and not to do, and that's where I'm at. If I look in the future, and I'm going to share my final thoughts now, and I'm going to turn it back to you. You can start wrapping it up if you like, Manny. Looking forward to 2019, I just want to continue connecting with as many people as possible. I want to do some more shows with you, Manny. I'm going to be starting a show with Charles F. Gray. It's a little bit of a controversial thing, because the show is called Real MGTOW Talk with Charles F. Gray and Coach Eli. And technically, Charles F. Gray and I are not MGTOW.
Right.
Because MGTOW stands for men going their own way. Technically, in my opinion, the only real true people that can label themselves a true MGTOW are the monks, because they completely withdraw from women. They don't have sex with women. They don't live with women. They don't date women. They do nothing with women.
Yeah.
Everyone else is considered a member of the manosphere. But at the same time, sorry, not Charles. At the same time, Manny, I've been saying that every man in their own special way is going their own way. Every man chooses the path they want to go on. Manny, you're going your own way.
Right, we're on
I'm going my own way.
We're on the hero's journey. We're discovering. We're learning about ourselves to be.
Right.
We're the hero of our own story, of our own movie, and that's where we're moving towards.
This may not go too well with some people out there, but we're the masters of our own domain. Okay.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I am definitely and I've talked about this in ways I won't go into right now in the past, a little bit more in a vulgar way. I'm going to keep it cleaner here, but I've been known to be the master of my own domain a time or two.
Gotcha.
I think you know what I'm talking about there, Manny. I think it's a natural thing for everyone. I'm just having a little fun here to end the show. But yeah, Charles F. Gray and I we titled that show MGTOW because, Real MGTOW Talk, because we are MGTOW knowledgeable. We are red pill. We have red pill MGTOW knowledge, and we understand how hot the stove is, just like you do, Manny. We understand the risks involved in dating or marrying, the modern day woman. Okay. So we have the experience to do it. We have the technology to do it. And Charles and I, just like you and I, we have great banter back and forth, yeah. And we have the time and desire to do it. It is our passion. We are obsessed with this. And this is a good obsession. We have an obsession of helping people, learn this information, okay, in the proper ways.
Right.
Whether we're considered MGTOW according to what a true MGTOW is or not, who gives a shit? We're men going our own way. You're going your own way. Charles is going his way, and I'm going my fucking way. Now, one more thing, and I'll turn it back to you, is that, I've been kind of told by some people, we understand when you say you're a man going your own way, even though, you're not technically MGTOW.
Right.
Okay. We understand that what you're trying to say is that you're walking down the path you want to walk, and in essence, that's the same thing as you saying you're going your own way, which we can understand that. But can you just call it something different? Because if you relate it to MGTOW MGTOW, that's an issue.
A negative thing.
Why the fuck? Well, why the fuck is that an issue? Who owns MGTOW? Nobody owns MGTOW. MGTOW is more like a philosophy, an ideology, whatever. Until somebody trademarks or copyrights MGTOW and leads MGTOW, I'm going to use MGTOW in any way I fucking feel like it. And it's my right to do that. Okay. So if I want to say I'm a man choosing the path I want to walk on, instead of saying I'm a man going my own way, which technically means the same thing, I'm going to say what I want to say. You know, man, let me ask you this before we wrap this up, and then I'm going to thank you in a second here. Isn't saying I'm a man going my own way the same thing as saying I'm a man choosing to walk the path I want to walk on? Is that very similar to you, or am I just a little retarded or crazy? I mean, you tell me.
No, I think it is similar. It's pretty much saying the same thing, but because a lot of people, what is it? You would probably say like a lot of it gets the MGTOW community or whatever. I guess it's been a negative.
Butthurt.
It's been a negative thing. So everyone thinks like, oh, he's a MGTOW. Oh, it's all negative. Oh, he hates his life. He's a miserable person. Blah blah blah. Even though that's not true. That's not accurate. That's why, like, in other words, people are assuming and they're not really, you know, talking to the main source and really getting the right information from you. They're just assuming like, oh, he's just another negative man out there because he doesn't want to be bother with another female. Blah 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 and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I get it, man.
I'm just, you know what it is, Manny. I'm just too hot for them to handle. Too hot to handle. Sometimes I'm, sometimes I can be too much for anybody. You know, it happens. And for a select group of people out there, maybe I'm too much. For others, we get along. You and I get along, Manny. I love your style. Apparently, you love my style. Charles F. Gray and I get along. You know, you're not going to get along with everyone out there.
Oh yeah,
and that's just the bottom line.
And we can't please everybody, and that's. And it always makes me think of identity. When you know who you are, you're going to speak up for yourself. You're not going to let people walk over you. You're going to be yourself. And if they don't like it, I mean, there's the door. That's like anyone. Like if a girl doesn't like you for who you are, there's the door, man. It's that really plain and simple.
That's what you have to do.
They don't have to love you. They don't have to like you. If they don't want to bother you, it's okay. Move on.
You're either in or you're out.
Right.
The bottom line, I'll wrap it up with this, Manny, is that the bottom line is you're either in or out. You either accept someone for who they are and everything that comes along with them, or you don't. That's the way it works. And if you're in the middle of a relationship, let's say you're 3 months into it, the honeymoon period ends, and then you start seeing things you don't like, you got to start talking about them as early on as possible.
Right.
Because the longer you wait to talk about them, the more emotional bond happens. And the stronger that bond becomes, once all this shit comes out that ends your relationship, it's just going to hurt the both of you even more. So you have an issue with somebody, address it right away. Don't squash it just because it feels good at the current moment. Okay. And that's Manny. And dude, Manny, I want to really thank you for inviting me on your show here today. You did an amazing job. We went almost 2 hours, and I enjoyed it, man. We got to do this more often.
No, man, we definitely did, and that's why. Like I said, I appreciate you for who you are, and I understand your story. I know you're learning as a human. We're always evolving. We're always growing. We're always processing. For those of us who want to choose that, that's another thing. That's a choice. You can either stay stagnant, or you can move forward, or you could grow. That's the thing. I'll say it real quick. While you read the chat, I don't know what's going on with the chat too much. My revelations for 2018 was definitely for me. Was a process of healing, a process of learning to be the best man I can be. I mean, it wasn't easy either. I shared this with you and one of the interviews you had with me that, you know, my 2018 was a roller coaster. It had a lot of downs, but it also had a lot of ups. I started this YouTube channel. It's almost been, I'll say it's been almost a full year that I have been working on videos and stuff. I've been on YouTube for almost 2 years, but me actually putting work and making videos, it's almost been a full year. And, you know, I hit my 1K, never thinking I was going to hit the 1K.
Right.
It's still a milestone. I mean, I'm not monetized yet, but, you know, who cares? And it's all in time. But as long as I'm being myself, I'm sure people are going to draw to me because I'm.
Why are you not monetized? Why are you not monetized? Do you
have
4,000 hours?
Views. I mean, it's weird. Like one of the if I look on the overall scale, it says I have over 5,000, but for some reason they haven't monetized me, or it says I'll have to talk to you afterwards after the show and stuff. Because it's showing that I have less views. I don't know. That part you might know more than me.
It's not about views, man. All you need is 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. You have the subs.
Right.
Go into your monetization tab and click on, more information. There's a little, button there. And then it'll tell you at the bottom of that monetization page in your Creator Studio how many hours you have and how many subscribers you have.
Right.
Now, if once you hit that, YouTube is now saying that we'll usually make a decision within a month or so. Now, in some cases, they don't approve everyone, and in some cases, instead of sending you information saying you've been declined, they just leave you indefinitely under review. That's what happened to my last channel.
Right.
So,
because I know you hit everything and everything like that, but I guess they never just got around to you, which is kind of in a way messed up. Because I know you were working hard. I know you were doing a lot of live streams, and I guess
I was monetized, Manny. I was initially monetized until they changed their rules, and then I actually made the new numbers in time, and YouTube still demonetized me on February 20th last year. And then I was under review up until the time I shut down my channel.
Right.
I was under review for like over 6 months, and it was the most ridiculous thing that I've been through. I think they've caught up now. I think now they take about a month or less to go through it, and it all depends how advertiser friendly your channel is. That's just the bottom line. Once you even reach the new threshold of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the previous 12 months, it's all about if they feel you're ad worthy. So that could be it too. But that's it, man. We can talk later on. But yeah, man, I know we got to wrap this up. I got to get out to the park before it starts raining, man. We can talk later today if you want, no problem. But I got to get out to the park and record my video, man. My daily walk video with my selfie stick.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do.
Gotta do what you got to do, huh?
So last thing for me, 2019, I guess my goal settings is try to get monetized, hopefully, in this channel, and thus continue to work on myself and continue my journey of healing and on my hero's journey, and just continue to love people, love harder, and to share my message and share my story as much people as possible. And people who want my help, my life coaching tips, and stuff I'm learning, I'm going to be putting out that content. So, all right, my man. So where can people find you? Where can people network and chat and support your channel and your business? Tell me about that real quick.
Well, as you can see on the screen, because I use OBS, I have fancy graphics.
I know.
One of the best ways to connect with me would be to go to my website at coacheli.com and then register on my website. You can go to coacheli.com/register, or just go to coacheli.com, click on the login tab, and then it'll ask you to register now. That's a good way. Obviously, I mean, if you're allowing me to self-plug, which I'm not a big self-plug person, I love helping others. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't have 100 subs yet. I'm getting close. I don't have a custom URL yet. You need 100 subscribers for that. So just subscribe to my channel. Coach Eli, Purple Pill Mentor with MGTOW knowledge. Just look up Coach Eli, Purple Pill Mentor, or something like that. You'll find my channel there, and you can subscribe there. Make sure you also bang the bell. Right. That way you get all notifications. So that way, when I go live, if I'm with Manny or whoever I'm with, you'll get notified. Do that for Manny's channel. Any other channel that you want to be notified when they go live or when they, first release a new video, you'll get notified right away. And typically, most people get their notification on their smartphone. So it's a good thing. You can easily reach people by asking them to hit the bell icon when they subscribe. Facebook, you can like my Facebook page. I also upload all my videos there as well. Facebook.com/Life Coach Eli. Now, if I know who you are, like I know Manny and I are Facebook friends. I'm not sure if Angel Munoz, who's been in this chat, who I knew from the past, and you know him as well, Manny.
He used to be on your YouTube channel.
He did. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Angel.
For anyone that knows me and you're a real person, especially if I met you through James Cox's #IamACreator community, You can send me a friend request. Just look me up, Elias Dimitri Melas. I put my real name out there so people know who I am. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Elias Dimitri Melas. Send me a friend request. And if I don't, if you feel I wouldn't remember who you are, you can also send me a private message through Facebook letting me know you're sending me a friend request, so I know you're not just trying to scam me. And then we can connect. Right. I want to connect with real people on my personal Facebook.
Right.
Real people that I trust and I care for. Some trolls have tried to connect with me and they get banned immediately. I can tell those. But yeah, if you want to connect with me on my actual personal Facebook page, in addition to my business page, which is facebook.com/Life Coach Eli,
Right.
Please go ahead and do so.
Do you have an Instagram too? Because I know some people got Instagram too.
Yeah, I don't really use it. I also have a Twitter, twitter.com/ I believe it's Elias Melas. I don't think it's Coach Eli. I think it's twitter.com/ Elias Melas. Twitter, Instagram, I think it's connected to my Facebook. I think it's like Coach Eli or Elias Melas. I don't really use. There's too much damn social media. Look, I'm a tech savvy guy. I live in the tech capital of the world, the Bay Area, Manny. The thing is, Jesus Christ, man, I can't keep up with all this shit.
I agree. There's like I said, there's like what, Facebook, YouTube, Google Hangouts, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
Yeah,
it just keeps going.
Too much, buddy.
It's too much. Anyway, man, I really, really appreciate you. I definitely, I really look forward for us doing our own little podcast series. That would be really fun.
Excellent.
And you're definitely going to be coming back, continue my series. And thank you so much for your time. Like I said, thank you for everyone in the chat. Besides those of you who were trolls, I see maybe someone's banned. So anyway, thank you so much for you guys to be here, and I'm signing out. This is your boy AkaoRyu, and this was Coach Eli, and I hope you guys have a great day.
See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.